Hey friends, and welcome to Yoga with Rachel. Also welcome to your yoga class for joy and happiness. In today's class, we explore postures and breath work that can help cultivate feelings of joy and happiness. So without further ado, let's get this party started. Join me on the mat, finding a seat of your choosing. So consider what would feel best today. Kneeling, cross-legged, one foot in front of the other, or perhaps you sit with your back against the wall for loving support. Now place your hands on your hips, rock your pelvis forward, tucking the tailbone under to create beautiful length in your low back. As you breathe in, draw your shoulders up towards your ears. And then breathe out to drop your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe in to lift your shoulders. Breathe out to drop. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out to drop. Draw your shoulders back in space, shoulder blades coming together as if you are trying to hold a pencil between your shoulder blades. Tuck in your chin slightly as you sit up tall. Place your left hand on your heart space and then your right hand on your belly. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose, and then breathe out through your nose. Soften through your face, relax your jaw, creating some space between your teeth. Soften through your fingers. Relax any area of the body in which you may find yourself gripping or holding. It's okay if this doesn't happen right away or even at all. Meet yourself where you are today. Can you make use of your breath to keep you here, rooted in place? I invite you to continue these nourishing breath cycles as we talk about today's theme, yoga for joy and happiness. Have you ever heard the phrase, "I will be happy once I have," or a variation of this phrase? I have said something like this so many times. I will be happy once I buy a house. I will be happy once I have a job that's in my field of study. I will be happy once I have some money to go on vacation. These are external factors that are supposed to lead to my happiness. But what if things don't go according to plan? Well then, I may end up feeling disappointed, frustrated, angry, sad, dissatisfied, empty, stuck, and so on. What if my happiness wasn't dependent on external factors like money, material possessions, others, a job, and so forth? So over the years, I have learned that I am responsible for my own happiness. You may have heard the expression, happiness comes from within. So, I guess that the question becomes, how can we cultivate joy or happiness from within? So I'm not expecting you to have an answer right away, or maybe even at all. This is a question that we can explore today as we move. So I invite you to take a slow breath in through your nose, and then a slow breath out through your nose. Open your eyes. If you were using a wall to support your back, create some distance between your body and the wall. Everyone, please join me in a cross-legged seat. Interlace your fingers out in front, push your palms forward, and then send your hands to the sky. Breathe in to find length through your side body, and then breathe out to tilt to the right. Sit bones remain glued to the ground. Breathe in to come back to center, and then breathe out to tilt to the left. Breathe in, coming back to center, and then breathe out to twist your upper body to the right, releasing your hands so that way your left hand rests on your thigh and your right hand connects with the ground. Turn to look past your right shoulder. Direct the breath down to your belly. Breathe in to send both hands to the sky, and then breathe out to twist your upper body to the left. Right hand rests on your thigh, and your left hand meets the earth. Turn to look past your left shoulder. Breathe deeply here. Breathe in to unravel, sending your hands up and overhead. And then breathe out to wiggle your fingers all the way back down to your lap. Now let's make our way to all fours. However, instead of rushing there today, let's take our time. I find that sometimes I lose some joy in my life when I rush to get from point A to point B. So let's enjoy the process, the transitions as we move from one pose to the next. So, whenever you are there, place your wrists under your shoulders, knees are under your hip points to start. And now bring your big toes together and walk your knees a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Spread through your fingers, press your fingertips into the earth. Breathe in. Breathe out to begin to round through your spine. Draw your chin towards your chest. Breathe in to drop your belly, lift your chin towards the sky. Breathe out to round through your back body, belly button hugs in, chin releases towards your chest. Breathe in to reach your tailbone towards the sky, dropping your belly, chest is nice and open. Breathe out to find your cat stretch. Breathe in to find your cow pose. Breathe out to find a neutral spine. Now let's play. Draw some circles with your hips. These can be really small circles, large circles. This can be a really swift movement or slow and exaggerated. Perhaps you get a little freaky. You decide. Keep a generous bend in your elbows as you find some fluid and organic movement, and permission to close your eyes as you play and explore. So I personally find so much joy when I give myself permission to play. So this could be playful movements on my yoga mat. It could be playing a board game, playing a sport, having a good time at an amusement park, and so on. Letting go and having fun can be so freeing. If you haven't done so already, please reverse that circle. So perhaps what I just said in regards to play resonates with you, or maybe not. How each of us cultivates joy and happiness will differ. All right, begin to slow your circle, making your way back to start and finding a neutral spine. Take a moment to notice how you feel. There's also an invitation to smile a little. All right, breathe in through your nose and then breathe out through your nose. Walk your knees under your hip points. Shins and feet are parallel to one another. Step your right foot out long and to the side. Right toes point forward and your whole foot is on the earth. Walk both hands to the left side of your mat. Place your left palm or fingertips on the ground so that way it is in line with your left knee. Use your right hand to guide your rib cage to face forward. As you breathe in, reach your right hand to the sky. Find space between your ears and shoulders, and find a lovely lift in your heart. There's an option to stay here, or you can play a little. Press into all that is touching the earth. Connect to your center as you begin to lift your right foot away from the ground. Go to a point where you feel some work being done in the outer right hip. Point your toes forward. Your right foot is active and bright. You may even wish to come up onto your left fingertips for more of a lift. I invite you to soften through your face and to let go of what this may look like. Focus on the feeling for one breath cycle. Begin to lower your right foot back to the earth, and then lower your right hand to the earth as well. Walk both hands through center so that way your wrists are under your shoulders. Step your right foot in, finding a tabletop position once again. Now step your left foot to the left side. Again, your toes pointing forward. Begin to walk your hands to the right side. Place your right palm or your fingertips on the earth. Use your left hand to guide your ribcage to face forward. Breathe in to send your left hand to the sky. Spread through your fingers. So there's an option to stay here or play around with lifting your left foot away from your mat. Again, your toes pointing forward. Perhaps you notice your core light up to support you as you explore this posture. Breathe in. Breathe out to slowly release everything back to the earth. Make your way back to a tabletop position. Knees are under your hips and shoulders are stacked above your wrists. Step or hop both feet towards the back edge of your mat and press away from the mat in this high plank. Hug your belly button in towards your spine. This is a whole body experience. Feel your power. Feel your strength. Breathe in. Breathe out to begin to bend at your elbows and as slow as you can go, lower down to your belly. Once you are there, untuck your toes, ground down through your feet. Rock your pelvis forward. Swim your hands back and behind you by your tailbone. Interlace your fingers, bring your palms together or maintaining space. Reach your knuckles towards your feet. Perhaps this action lifts you up slightly. Breathe in to press into all that is touching the earth. Loop your shoulders, heart center shines forward. And then breathe out to soften through your face. Find a gentle chin tuck here. So the feet may be tempted to lift away from the ground, so do your very best to keep them connected to the earth. Breathe in. Breathe out to release your bind and the back bend. Now place your hands on your mat, so that way they are next to your rib cage. Tuck your toes under. Breathe in. Breathe out to press palms into the earth. Lift your knees away from the ground and then make your way back to a high plank. Breathe in. Breathe out to lower your knees to your mat. Now step your right foot towards the back edge of your mat. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to hug your right knee in towards your chest and then step your right foot through. Walk your left knee back to deepen the stretch. Curl your left toes under. Your right knee is over your ankle, so that way you can still see your toes. Fingertips lightly connect with the earth. Loop your shoulders as you look forward. Find a gentle sway from side to side here, keeping things light and playful. On your next breath in, send your hands forward and then to the sky. Breathe out to relax your shoulders away from your ears, creating space. So there's an option to keep your back knee lowered, or you can lift your left knee away from the earth. Keep your left heel lifted, find a small bend in that back knee. Encourage your hips and heart to face forward. Everyone breathe on in, and then breathe out to slowly send your hands behind you, palms facing the earth. Reach your heart forward. So moving your heart closer towards the top edge of your mat. Folding halfway. Breathe in to sweep your hands forward, up and overhead. Look up. Breathe out to begin to hinge forward at your hip as you release your hands to the earth. Lower your back knee if it was lifted, untuck your toes, plant your palms, and then step your right foot back to join your left in a tabletop position. Now step your left foot back and behind you. Breathe in. Breathe out to hug your left knee in towards center, and then step your left foot through. Walk your right knee back and curl the back toes under. Loop your shoulders as you look forward, and once again find that beautiful sway from side to side. On your next breath in, sweep your hands to the sky. Breathe out to draw your belly button in towards your spine. All right, friends. So there is an option to stay here with your knee on the ground, or you can lift your kneecap away from the earth, working on some balance in the body. Breathe in. Breathe out to send your hands back in space, palms facing the ground. Perhaps you can feel some juicy work taking place in your triceps. Heart reaches forward, folding halfway so your belly releases closer towards your thigh. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in to send your hands forward and then to the sky. Breathe out to wiggle your fingers as you hinge forward at your hip, releasing your hands to the earth. Lower that back knee, untuck your toes, plant your palms on the mat, and then step your left foot back, finding your tabletop position. Awesome work. Walk your hands wider than shoulder width apart. Curl both toes under. Breathe in to lift both knees away from your mat, lighting a little fire in that core. And then breathe out to lower your knees. Breathe in to lift your knees and shins away from the earth once again. And then breathe out to send your hips to the sky, finding a downward facing dog. Right away, I invite you to play here. Bring some joy and happiness to your yoga practice by exploring what would feel best for you here. Go inward. Perhaps this means taking your dog for a walk. Maybe you explore a three-legged dog. Perhaps you bend both knees generously and melt your chest towards your thighs as you explore exquisite stillness. You decide. All right, wherever you are, let's take a breath in through the nose. And now a breath out through your mouth. Let it all go. One more time, breathe in, filling your lungs with air. And an open mouth exhale, empty it out. Walk or step your feet to the middle of your mat. On your next breath in, send your hands to the sky. Look up. Breathe out to clap your hands together and then slowly slice your hands down the middle, past your heart, and then back to the earth, finding a forward fold. Breathe in to find a flat back position, fingertips on the earth, hands on your shins or thighs, you decide. Breathe out to fold. Breathe in to spread through your fingers as you send your hands up and overhead. Breathe out to clap your hands together, and now bring your hands to your heart. Walk your feet under your hips for stability, and I invite you to close your eyes. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Let's continue to reflect upon our question. How can we cultivate joy or happiness from within? When I ask myself this question, I think about gratitude. I keep a gratitude journal, and in this journal, I write down 5 things that I am grateful for and 5 things that I am proud of. Some of the items on my list are external elements, while some of them are internal, such as I am grateful for my health. I am proud that I took some time for self-care today, even though I had a lot to accomplish on that to-do list. I can feel the joy and the happiness fill my heart as I reflect upon what I feel grateful for and what I am proud of. So, what about you? How do you cultivate joy and happiness from within? And it's okay if you are unsure or if your response to this question is completely different from my own. Reflect upon this as we continue to move. All right, open your eyes. Are you ready to dance? So we are heading into dancer pose, which is a balancing posture. Feel free to stand close to a wall, or you can use furniture such as a chair for support. Our left leg will serve as our standing leg, so find a small bend in that knee. Press away from the earth as you lift your right foot away from your mat. Your knee is bent and is roughly in line with your hip. Interlace your fingers around your shin. Hold on to a focal point out in front of you as we play around with balance. Now send your right foot and shin back and find a juicy quad stretch, placing your right hand on the outer edge of your foot or on your ankle. To encourage a lift in your chest, place your left thumb on your sternum, lifting your sternum towards your thumb. Now move your right hand to the inner arch of your foot as you begin to hinge forward at your hip. Your torso is moving forward while your right foot reaches back and towards the sky. Press the top of your foot into your hand as your foot presses back. Now, send your left hand forward, palm facing the ground, or you can take a mudra by bringing your thumb and index finger together with your palm facing upwards. Dancer pose can evoke feelings of confidence, lightheartedness, joy, and happiness. Consider how you feel here. Breathe in, breathe out. Begin to slowly make your way out of the posture, bringing everything in and back towards center. Lower your right foot to the earth, and then release both hands to your sides. Awesome work. Please note that if you do fall out of the posture or you lose your balance, please make your way back into that posture. It's all about the process. It's all about that journey. I fell out of postures to this very day, and I just laugh it off. All right, so let's find a small bend in the right knee as you lift your left foot away from your mat. Your thigh is about parallel to the sky. Your hands grab your left shin. Press out of your foundation to try to level out your hips. Now, slowly send your left leg behind. Your left hand grabs your ankle or the top of your left foot. Can you feel that stretch in your left quad? Place your left hand on your inner arch of the sole of your foot. Connect your right thumb to your sternum. Hold on to a focal point in front of you as you begin to hinge forward at your hip. Your upper body is moving forward, your left leg is moving back. Reach the sole of your foot towards the sky. The top of your foot presses into your hand and your hand presses back. Choose an option with your right arm that feels good. Perhaps you decide to keep your thumb at your sternum. Make this practice your own, explore, and have some fun. All right, take a slow, joyful breath in, and then breathe out some joy. Very slowly, make your way out of the posture. Bring your leg and arms back to center. Release your left foot to the earth and both hands rest at your sides once again. Great work. Let's shake it on out, starting with the feet and the legs. And now add the hips, hands, arms, shoulders, tick-tock your head. Yes, this may look silly, but that's the beauty of it. Let go of how this looks and embrace the sensations, how this feels. Great. Find stillness. Walk your feet so that way they are wider than hip distance apart and knees are soft, so there's a bend in your knees. We are going to explore a breath technique called breath of joy. This breath technique is energizing and fun and can help evoke feelings of joy and happiness. I will walk us through this. We begin by taking a shallow breath in through the nose. The breath is felt in the lower area of the lungs. As we do the shallow breath, we send our arms in front, palms facing upwards. We then take another breath in through the nose, filling up more of the lungs with air as we send our hands to the sides, palms facing up. We take a final breath in through the nose, filling up the rest of the lungs with air as we send our hands to the sky, palms facing behind us. And then we finally breathe out through our mouth as an audible exhale as we fold forward. Rise up and repeat the sequence. So there are 3 intakes of air with no pauses for exhales until we are ready to fold forward. So let's try this slowly together, and then I will invite you to take it away, and you can also pick up the pace. Take a shallow breath in through your nose as you reach your arms forward, palms facing up, and then a shallow breath into the nose to send your hands from left to right. Continue to breathe in through your nose, filling the lungs with air as you reach your hands overhead, and then an audible exhale out through your mouth as you fold forward and then rise up to repeat. I now invite you to give it a try. Go at a pace that feels comfortable for you. Wherever you are, do one more round. Awesome work. Rise up, walk your feet under your hips, and then just take a moment to notice how you feel. On your next breath in, send your hands to the sky, fingertips meet overhead. Breathe out to bring your hands together and then to your heart. I invite you to bow your head and close your eyes. Take a final opportunity to reflect upon how to cultivate joy and happiness from within. How do you fill your cup? Do you go for walks, sing, dance, read, play sports, explore and experience a culture outside of your own, play an instrument? I find that when I remain in the present, I experience joy and happiness. It's like when I am at an amusement park or even watching a movie in the theaters. I am fully present in the activity and joy fills my heart. When I live in the past or in the future, I find that there's some level of internal turmoil taking place. That's not to say that we cannot think about the past and the memories. That's also not to say that we should not look to the future. But when our mind remains in the past and or future, cultivating joy and happiness can be more challenging to do. This is just something to consider. All right, my friends, thank you so very much for joining me on your mat today. You rock. I hope that you enjoyed this practice for happiness and joy. Return to this video often when you are looking for a little pick-me-up and share this practice with others. Subscribe to Yoga with Rachel for more amazing yoga and wellness content. Let's take a final joyful breath in through the nose. And then as you breathe out, imagine that you are sending joy to others in your space and all over the world. Take care, and I will see you in the next class. Namaste.